Okay, so let's have a conversation until we wait for a few more people. So I just want to know one thing. Have you all already applied for the universities for the winter intake, or are you just going to start the process so that I know what kind of information I should give? Anybody? No? Have you already applied, or are you yet to start your application process?
Yet to start the application process.
Yet to start. Okay, great.
Already applied for one university.
Oh, you've already applied for one university, is it?
Yes.
Okay, great to know. Okay, so guys, before I start, I would like to let you know that in the end we'll have a Q&A session. So if you have any doubts related to masters in Germany or anything, it can be as little as should I mention the date when I'm writing the SOP, or something like that. You can ask any kind of questions to us, and we are here to answer them. So if you feel like you have any questions during when I'm conducting the webinar, so please note it down somewhere and ask me at the end. And I would love it if you all just switch on your mics and ask it to me directly, or you can type it down in the chat box, but we would prefer more if you speak to us because we want to know you better. And also we have Uday sir here, who is the founder of MS in Germany. So he's a TUM alumnus. So you can ask him any question because he has had the experience of studying in Germany. So you can ask these kind of questions to him, what it can be like during the application process, or even after going to Germany. You can ask some questions to him. So yeah, and being an international student myself, I did my bachelor's in Malaysia. So you can ask me questions. I understand how this whole process works and everything. So you can ask me questions. So yeah, I think we can get started. Okay, so guys, this session is very, very important because I know most of you are just starting your application process, or you might have applied in a few universities already, but you should know a few things before you start your process. So this session is going to be about, we'll go in detail about how you should do the university shortlisting. So these are the topics that I'll be covering today. Okay, so firstly, we'll be covering about the required documents, what documents you need to have, you need to keep ready before you start. Secondly, how to shortlist universities. So you'll see many students make mistakes during this process, so we'll go and talk about it. Thirdly, how to send the applications. So we'll go step by step how to send, what mistakes students make when they're doing the application process, and then the 16 steps you need to remember before you start. So this is a very general thing, so that you have an idea even for beginners who have no idea how the application process works for Germany. This might really help you, and how to increase your chances of getting admission, because that's the main focus here, right? Because we really want to get that admission of ours. So I'll give you some tips about how to increase your admission chances. And at last, MS in Germany, how can we help you in making this process easier? So without further delay, let's get started. Yeah, so the required documents. So you see, when it comes to this, it's pretty much the same for any country that you're applying for, but it can be slightly varying, and some students make mistakes in certain documents. Like for example, first one, let's go to the bachelor's transcript. So this transcript can sometimes be mistaken for your mark sheet, but no, that's not what they're expecting. Bachelor's transcript is a document that you need to apply from your bachelor's university. So some universities, what they do at the time of graduation, they give it automatically, when you graduate, but some universities, they don't. So you can just apply for this document. So it's a document that has summarized all the subjects and the marks that you have taken in your bachelor's course period. So they will also mention the grading system, what's a minimum passing criteria, maximum, your I mean, like the grades that you have acquired. And also you will have the credits and stuff in certain universities. So this document is like the official document of your bachelor's course structure, and it has all these subjects in it. This is mainly required because Germany wants to know what are the credits that you took, which subjects you took, and they might convert it to the ACTS. Sometimes you will have to do it by yourself, but this is to calculate your German grade, that is with your minimum passing criteria, your the maximum and your obtained grades. So what they'll do is they'll calculate your German grade to see if you're eligible. They'll see if you're matching the German grade system, because they have a different scale over there. I'm sure many of you might already have known about this, and we have a German grade calculator in our website itself. So you can calculate your grades by just putting your input. So yeah, this document is mainly important because they need this for your application process. And sometimes students who are in your 7th semester, or if you're in your final semester right now, you can actually apply with the transcript that is until your last semester. So that, because some universities, they accept students who are in your final semester, so you wouldn't have a complete transcript at the time of application. So in that case, that's okay, you will have a conditional offer letter. But if not, you can always get a transcript until the previous semester that you have given. So this document is very important. Don't mistake it with your mark sheet, because that's completely different. So yeah, you need to keep this in mind. Secondly, IELTS. So say if you're going for an English dot program, I'm sure most of you might aim for English dot program itself. Most of the universities in Germany, they ask for your IELTS score. So the minimum IELTS score that they usually expect is 6.5 to 7, but it's usually 6.5 is okay. So if you haven't written your exam yet, because this takes time, you need to prepare. So you need to start with the IELTS preparation right at least 2 months before, and get your marks ready. So once, because most of the universities ask for IELTS, even if those universities which don't ask for IELTS, they'll ask for your medium of instruction certificate. So it's a certificate that you get from your bachelor's that states that you've completed your bachelor's in English medium. But that is not enough, because sometimes even if universities put that IELTS is not mandatory, they expect you to submit your IELTS score, because it kind of gives a good impression. You'll have an upper hand in getting admission. So make sure that you get your IELTS score ready, even if it's mandatory or not, because most of the top universities over there, they ask for your IELTS score. So yeah, you need to get this ready if you're going for English dot programs. And German language proficiency. So this step that you're seeing right now is not mandatory at all, because if you're going for English dot programs, they don't even ask this certificate. But if you're going for a bilingual program or German taught program, then you will definitely have to have at least B1 or B2 level of German language certified. So you can get this in India itself. You can prepare by many means. You can get an online tutor, or a smarter German is there. So extra, you can get yourself a course ready and write a test in Goethe or test staff, and get yourself certified with the level that you want to. And this is not mandatory again if you're going for English dot programs, guys. There is a myth that you need to get your German language ready, even, or even if you're going for German dot or not, English dot or not. But that's a myth. For English dot programs, you don't need your German language ready. But for an upper hand, again, when it comes to German visa interview or anything, it's always better for you to have your German language proficiency. And then is the statement of purpose. So see, this document is one of the most important documents, because there are certain ways to write your statement of purpose. This is the only document that will make you stand out. Not even your grades would make you stand out, but this document will make you stand out, because this is your only chance of talking to the admission committee. You can tell about yourself, about your dreams, your role model, your aspiration, why you want to go for this particular course. So this document is usually 2 pages, where you tell the university why you want, why are you choosing this particular course, or why are you dreaming of going to this particular university. Make sure that you utilize your words well. So there are so many ways to write your statement of purpose, and make sure that it's plagiarism free. You can't copy it from anywhere. That's a serious offense. You can even get banned from going to Germany itself, for education. So please don't do that. And so yeah, get your statement of purpose ready. It's very important, and you can even write it from us. If you feel like you can't write it by yourself, you can take professional help. And then the letters of recommendation. So letters of recommendation is basically letters that your professors or your workplace people, your supervisor is writing on behalf of you. Is writing about you, someone who knows your strength and weakness. Basically, they are recommending you to the university. So mostly they ask for 2 to 3 letters of recommendation. So make sure that, like for example, 2 can be from your university and 1 can be from your workplace. But if you don't have any work experience, then you don't have to worry about it, because you can even get it from your bachelor's university, someone who really knows you. Don't just get it from your principal or your HOD. Someone who really knows your strength and weakness, who's willing to write this. What many students do, they write it by themselves and they just take the signature from the professor. You can even do that if they're okay with it, because you need to write it in a certain way. We have separate webinars for this, so guys, please attend. And then the curriculum vitae, that is the CV. So in Germany they call it CV, they don't use the word resume. So what you need to do is you need to prepare in the European format. This document is also very important, because this is the document that tells about your accomplishments, what you did in what you did before, coming to Germany. So it tells, make sure you add about your hobbies, your skills, because that can really stand out. It doesn't have to be always related to the course that you're going for. It can be about anything that you're good at. Make sure that you have a complete profile. So in case if you had any gap year or something, this is your chance to mention that you have done so and so, you have done an internship or so. Make sure that you have a really impressive CV. That really matters. So yeah, these are the 6 main documents that you need to worry about. Other than that, it can be a finance statement, blocked account, etc. But for application, mostly they'll ask only these. So I hope that's clear for you. And then how to shortlist universities. So this is the place where many students make mistakes, because sometimes you get very ambitious. You might have a dream university and you might not be eligible for that. So you need to make sure that there are many criteria that come into place. So most of the public university, most of the students, what they do is they want to go for a public university. That is because public universities are the universities that do not charge you any tuition fee. So that's why most of the students, what they do is they are aiming for public universities itself. And also 60% in Germany are public universities. So there is nothing like a huge cutoff like in India, because in India you can see that the government funded universities are usually having a high cutoff, 95, 96. You need to be robots to get that, guys. But yeah, so in Germany that's not the case. So if you have 75% or so, you easily have a good chance of getting admission in a public university. So most of the students aim for getting into public itself, because there's no tuition fee, or even if there's tuition fee, it's very low, like 1,500 euros or so. But you can find a university there's no tuition fee at all. Many universities are there. So most of the students, what they do is they go for public universities. But when it comes to certain courses, especially management related courses, are not very often offered in a public university. So this is why students choose sometimes private universities, or even students choose private universities if they have low grades, like that is less than 70 percentage. When they feel like they have very less chances of getting into a public university, what they do is they apply for a few universities that they are eligible to apply for, even if they have low chances. And most of the universities, what they do, they apply in private. So the average number of universities that you can apply, it's not about you can apply, it will be more worthy if you apply for 5 to 7 universities, because you can focus more on it. Because when you focus on fewer things, you'll do better. And 5 to 7 universities is the apt number of universities that you can apply. It's your wish, you can even apply to 10, 20 universities. Sometimes students, what they do, they apply in all the universities that they're eligible for. But it's not very necessary, I would say, because sometimes you can easily get admission in the first few universities that you're applying. Then you will have so much confusion, like which one to go for. So choose universities based on what is your marks. Understand your profile really well. If you feel like you don't have up to the marks, if you have 63% or 64%, if you have something less than 65, then easily think, prepare yourself to go for a private university, because that's more of the obvious thing that would happen. So but yeah, your first aim should always be public universities, but there are many private universities. So don't lose hope if you don't get into a public one. There are up to 120 private universities in Germany. And this is the only difference is that you don't, I mean, you'll have to pay tuition fee. So you can expect from 10 lakh to 20 lakh rupees. It depends on which university you're going for and which course, but yeah, you can expect around that much. But if it's public universities, you're not going to pay anything. So this is the major difference. And they charge more because they're not government funded. That's the main difference. Other than that, you can find some really good courses even in private universities, especially like I said, management related courses. It's very more often offered in private universities, so keep that in mind. And okay, so this is something where students don't know much about it, or they don't think much before going, because there are two types of public universities itself in Germany. One is called the technical universities, and the other is the FH, that is universities of applied sciences. So these two university types that you're seeing is technical universities. Like the word itself, it's very technical, it's more research oriented. Whereas if you come to FH universities, it's more of practice oriented. So that is, they are preparing you more for the job. There is no much research work, it's more of internships and practical work. When it comes to technical universities, it's more of experiments, research work, projects, these kind of, it's more of theory. And in universities, most of the students prefer technical universities because first thing, it's like an all-rounder. It's not just for job oriented, or it's not just research oriented. It is mainly research oriented, but you can even get good jobs because coming from a technical university, because they prepare you for everything. And if you want to get a doctorate program later, if you want to do PhD later, you have to go for technical universities, because they'll already cover certain credits, and you can just add 1 more year or so and complete your PhD, or 2 more years. But technical university master's course period itself is quite long, 2 to 3 years, because it's quite difficult to do the research work and everything. But most of the students prefer to go to technical universities, because like I said, it has more value. But you don't think that you won't get a job if you go to technical universities. They prepare you for everything. And FH is mainly to prepare you for job, because they have strong links to the industry. They know what kind of, they prepare you for the work based, they have a work based approach. So that's why they prepare you for the internships. And you can see that some courses like social sciences or humanities are very rarely offered in FH. But in this, you can find many courses. You can find almost all the courses in technical universities. And like I said, 90% of your coursework would be based on your research projects and these things. Whereas in FH universities, it's more of practice, like internships, these kind of things. Okay. And FH is usually shorter. If you study in a FH university, the course period is usually shorter. You might finish faster. And but the main thing is, you need to choose what's right for you. If you feel like you can manage the research work, and if you're interested in it to carry out experiments, then go for technical universities. But don't go for technical universities just because it's more valuable, or you feel like it's make sure that it's right for you, because these, I mean, in Germany, it's completely different academics. So it might be difficult for you to pass the exams or so. But in FH, it's I won't say FH is more easy. That's not what I mean. What I'm trying to say is, go through the course structure, check what are the requirements, how does the whole course works, and choose what's right for you. And yeah, some technical universities are TU Berlin, there's RWTH, Aachen. Check the DAT website. You can find the list of all the technical universities. Most of the TU9 universities, right, they're all technical universities. Whereas FH, there is FH Aachen, Rheinwald University of Applied Science, and many universities of applied science. Many students, they opt for FH because they mainly do their masters to find a good job. So for that case, I think FH is more than enough for you. So choose what you want, what you can do, and what you're looking for, and then you'll find the right one. Okay, so then we go for what's the application process to study in Germany. So when you're applying for Germany, right, there are two main procedures. So one is some students, I mean, like some universities, what they do is they ask you to directly apply to the university. And some universities, they ask you to apply through UniAssist. So this UniAssist is like a middleman kind of person, you can imagine. So what they do is they collect, especially the international students, what they do is they ask, the universities ask the international students to apply to UniAssist. And UniAssist is like this filtering uh, institute, where they filter the applications. So they check your eligibility and then they forward it to the universities. So this process mainly, there in Germany, because they receive thousands of applications every year because of the free education. They receive a lot of applications, and they don't want to waste their time in going through applications that where students are not even eligible, right? Or if there's any missing document. So what they do is they ask you to send through UniAssist, and UniAssist evaluates your profile, and they let you know if something is missing, or they also let you know at what state your process is at. So for international students, UniAssist is like, a screening center where they screen all the application and forward it to the respective universities. So they check your eligibility criteria, the university, if your credit requirements are met, they'll check all of these. And all these applications have to be submitted online to their portal. And hard copies have to be submitted to the physical address. So this is how the whole thing works. So basically, you have to upload your documents on the portal in UniAssist, and you need to get your VPD ready way before, because it takes time, around 3 weeks. So keep all these things in mind. I know it's a lot of information, but you need to know. So there are two types of application that can be made. One is directly to the university, and one is the UniAssist. So when you shortlist universities itself, check the university how the application process works. If it's through UniAssist, then you'll have to send it to UniAssist first. So create your profile on UniAssist way before the application starts, so that what you have to do. And one more great thing about UniAssist is that it's like one single platform. So you can send all the application. If you applying for more than one university, it's easy for you, because these kind of charges, like you're sending to different places, that would be reduced if you're sending through UniAssist. So you should know that UniAssist is to make process easier for students. So keep that in mind. And some universities, what they do is they don't want you to send to UniAssist, so they'll ask you to directly send it to the university itself. This would be you have to send, there won't be any application fee for sending it directly to the university, because they don't charge you anything, especially in public universities, they don't really charge you anything. But if it's UniAssist, you can expect 75 euros for your first application, and for every other application, every other university that you're applying for, you just have to pay 30 euros. So this is how it works, but you won't have anything like anything extra other than that. And you'll be also able to track your application process. So let's go in detail how to send applications. So firstly, get your documents notarized. So what is notarized is to just make sure that you can get it notarized anywhere nearby, any government office or something. It's mainly to, you should get a stamp to know that it's authorized and it's recognized by the Indian government. So they want your documents to be notarized. So make sure that you notarize it way before. They might charge you a certain fee, like depends on where you're getting it notarized. For each paper you might have 150 rupees or so. So get it notarized first itself, your documents. Secondly, check if the application has to be made via UniAssist or directly. So this is the second step. So make sure not all universities ask you to send through UniAssist. So you need to be very clear, check the application procedures. Thirdly, UniAssist, open your VPD in UniAssist. So this is to open your profile, you need to get it ready, and this takes 3 weeks time to get your VPD. So you can do it in advance, and verify your documents and upload it on the portal. Verify it twice or thrice, ask others to verify it on behalf, like just to know that you haven't missed out anything. And you don't have to worry if it's UniAssist, they'll notify you. So yeah, keep that in mind. And the last step would be checking for updates. So keep tracking your documents, guys, because sometimes you might forget that you applied. I know you might not, because you really want this application, this admission. But keep checking for updates, because they'll notify you if something is missing. So keep this in mind. So these are the 5 major steps that you need to focus on when you're applying, sending applications. So yeah, I know you might have doubts. Please ask us in the end. So these are the 16 major steps that you need to keep in mind before you start your process. So first and foremost is just a second. Okay, yeah. So first and foremost is get your passport ready, because you can't travel anywhere without your passport. So if it's under renewal, or if you feel like you need to get a new one ready, because you need to have at least 10 months to 1 year validity before you send your application process. So keep it ready. Secondly, take the Ielts test. So this step is mandatory because, like I said, most of the universities ask for Ielts score. And even those universities which do not ask for your Ielts score, they will ask your medium of instruction certificate. But it's better to always present your Ielts score to increase your chances of getting admission. Thirdly, take the GRE and the German language proficiency test. So this is not mandatory because, like I said, GRE is mainly for the TU9 universities. They mostly ask for your GRE score or your GATE score, but again, most of the universities, they don't ask for your GRE score, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's better to take, give it if you have time, because if you have a good score of above 310, it's something that you can present. You'll have an upper hand in your profile. So yeah, take it if you want, but present it only if you feel like you have a really good score. And German language test is not mandatory. Only if you're going for bilingual program, you need to take it, or else just take basic A1 or A2. That is also not mandatory, guys. If it's for English dot program, this is just to uplift your profile. Even for the German student visa interview, it'll be you'll get a better impression. So yeah. Fourth, get your bachelor's transcript ready. Like I said, this takes 3 weeks or so time. So apply in your universities, your bachelor's universities, beforehand, so that it doesn't consume much time. And sometimes you might have to pay around 1,000 rupees or so to the university to get your bachelor's transcript ready. You need to push, guys. It's your application. You want it. Sometimes universities can be very slow. So in your bachelor's university, whichever university that is, apply beforehand, get all these documents ready. And fifth, prepare your CV. So give so much importance, because they might spend around 3 minutes evaluating your CV. There's just an approximate time. So it should be very impressive. Don't put any flashy colors in your CV. Don't use these colors. It won't work. Use a similar font. Make it neat. Make sure that it's in the chronology order. The latest one should be on the top. These things, these tips you need to focus on. And then prepare your statement of purpose. This document is to let, like I'm repeating again, it's to let the admission committee know why you want this admission. So give so much importance to this. Prepare few drafts, ask your friends, or you can take professional help. Make sure that it's the best document and that makes you stand out. You should speak your story, not very don't write it in the perspective of just getting admission, or yeah, you will be writing that, but don't write it in the perspective of the perfect student. They want to know who you are. So don't just copy from internet, or write it more about you. It should come from your heart. Speak your story. You'll have a bigger impact. Then collect your letters of recommendation. So if your professors are going to write it by themselves, you need to push them in writing faster and give them guidelines how it should be written. Give them your necessary information. If you want something to be added in your letter of recommendation, right, give that information to the professors so that they know what, this is basically for you. So give all the information. It's something that you've achieved, some work that you did, maybe your professor might have forgotten, but give that information to them. Speak to them. Choose the right recommendee, because that person has to know your strength and weakness and should be willing to write it for you. Or you can write it by yourself and take the signature from them. But please, one more thing some students do is they write letter of recommendation on behalf of a professor, and that professor won't even know. Sometimes you might get caught for these things, so please don't do such errors. Then prepare a list of universities that you want to apply. Again, there is something called you wish to apply and something called you're eligible to apply. So a shortlist universities that match your eligibility, that match your credit. The credit requirements are matching with yours. You have all the necessary things that they're looking for. So keep this in mind and send applications to the university for accommodation. So these steps, 9 steps, are actually the pre-admission step, that is before you receive an offer letter. So these steps you need to keep in mind. Next few steps would be, just a second, I'm not sure why it's stuck. Okay, yeah. So the next few steps is actually after you receive an offer letter. So what are the steps you need to do after that? So that is apply for education loan if you feel like you can't manage your expenses. That is because to set up your blocked account, and if you're going for a private university, for all those things you might need an education loan. You can always apply for one. You can even just give us a call and we can help you with that. Then would be transferring money to the blocked account. So blocked account is actually a financial proof to let the German government know that you can afford your living expenses in Germany. So this account is approximately, I mean, it is actually 10,332 euros. That corresponds to 9 lakh Indian rupees. So this amount you're not paying to anyone. It's like a fixed deposit. And this amount has to be transferred to an account, and you need to provide the proof that you have already set up your blocked account, and you can't withdraw it until you finish your course study. Or you can withdraw like 850 euros or so every month. You'll have a limit, so only that much you can withdraw. This is for to manage your expenses over there. So yeah, keep this in mind. And then take the travel insurance. It's always safe to be safe. So get your travel insurance ready, and then book your flight in advance, because there can be some because in German, when you're going for the student visa interview, they would ask you to present, I mean, like, you should have your flight booked early. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then is the German student visa step. So you need to prepare your letter of motivation, you need to attend the interview, present all the documents to them, be confident, and you're good to go. Then get a prepaid card. So this card, you might not immediately be able to open a bank account in Germany. So get a prepaid card from here itself, so that you can use it as a travel card and withdraw. You can recharge amount in that travel card and just withdraw from Germany. So this can be very handy. Take it from me, it was really helpful for me when I was in Malaysia. So yeah, it can be handy. You can go to any country and you can use this prepaid card. So yeah, get a prepaid card ready, and at last pack your bags and say goodbyes. So these are the 16 steps that you should keep in mind before you start the process. This is just to give you a general idea. So yeah, many students ask this question: how to increase your chances of getting admission? So first and foremost, if you're in your final this tip is only for those students who are in the final semester, the first one. Your CGPA matters, guys. So if you're in the borderline of 6.9 or 7.2, increase it to 7.5 or 8, because if you're still in your final semester, CGPA really matters. I mean, at least to check if you're eligible or not, have a CGPA of 7.5 or 8. It'll really uplift your profile. So yeah, for those students who don't have that much CGPA, that's okay. What's gone is gone. We'll focus on the next ones. So prepare an outstanding SOP, because you can stand out. I have seen students, who had really low scores or CGPA, and they would have got admission in TUM, or one of the top universities in Germany. So that is because they would have really outstanding profile, or that is the SOP, statement of purpose, that they would have written, or the CV. That matters a lot. So you can stand out with these documents itself. And sometimes if you have really high score, you can even lose your admission because of these documents if you haven't written them well. So yeah, keep this in mind. And Germans are very, very, very punctual, guys. So apply as soon as the portals open. Yeah, there would be deadlines, but don't wait for the deadlines to because don't be in two minds. Prepare yourself well and apply way before the deadlines, so that you can even make changes. If you didn't get that admission, you can make plan B, or you can apply for a few other universities, or you can even write a reconsideration letter to the university. So if you want all this to be done, you need to apply beforehand. So don't wait for the deadlines. Apply it in the starting itself, as soon as the application portal opens. And don't be too ambitious. Know your chances, like, know that if you have good chances or not, and then you apply. So shortlist universities that you are eligible to apply for, and where you have good chances of getting admission. So keep this in mind. And yeah, you can even get your profile evaluated with us for free. We'll predict your chances of getting admission in a public university. So yeah, you can get that done with us. And this is where we come into place. MS in Germany, how can we help you in making this process easier? So we have all kinds of services for your masters in Germany plan. So we can do university shortlisting for you based on your current qualifications and those things. You can choose 3 target courses, and you can we can shortlist universities for you. Secondly, we do university application process. If you feel like you want to prepare your documents by yourself, you can just come to us for university application. We apply for the universities on behalf of you. We check the eligibility, we review your documents, and then we apply. Then we help students with document preparation. That is, if you want us to write statement of purpose or letters of recommendation or CV, these documents we prepare. Or if you want us to review your documents, you can always get it reviewed with us, so we can let you know where you have to change, or we'll give you an evaluation report. And then letter of motivation, that is, if you're going for German student visa, you'll have to write your letter of motivation, right? So we can help you with that. And visa appointment booking, so suppose you can't get that visa appointment because it's very difficult to get visa appointments, so you can just book with us and we can help you for it. So this is my number. You can just give me a call whenever you feel like you have a doubt, or you want to connect with us. Or you can just send a callback request on our website msingermany.co.in, or you can just drop a mail in our support ID support@msingermany.co.in, or you can just send a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or watch our videos on YouTube. And so yeah, without further delay, let's get started with the questions. So do we have questions? Once again, I would like to introduce, we have Uday sir here, who is the founder of MS in Germany, and he's also the TUM alumnus. So you can ask whatever questions that you want to ask. It can be really helpful. If you have any doubts, just start asking questions. You can just switch on your mics and ask us questions. Okay, so we have oh yeah, is someone going to speak?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Patil.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I'm not a student. I'm a parent.
Okay.
And I would like to know that what are the opportunities there to raise the funds for their study either through internship or any part-time job or scholarship.
Okay.
So that is the major issue.
Okay. So, hi, sir. So, there are many opportunities for students, especially Indian students who go there for their masters, right? You can do a part-time job in Germany. So, international students, they can do part-time job for up to 20 hours per week. So that is for 120 full days or 240 half days in a year, and they get paid like around 10 euros per hour. So what students do is they don't even use up this blocked account money, and they just they try to get a part-time job. You can get 3 types of part-time job in Germany. One is working as a intern, in a company that is related to their course field. You can get good. I mean, you can get a good amount from that, or you can even work in the university itself, which most of the students do. What they do is they work as a research assistant for or a student assistant, so you can get a job on campus itself. Or the third option is, if you're fluent with German language, then you can even work in a cafe or a restaurant, these kind of part-time. But most of the Indian students, what they do is they go for a part-time job. They work as an intern in a company, because that is the only place where you can speak in English itself and manage. So you can work as an intern. So there are part-time job opportunities, and once you complete your master's course period, they in Germany, they give you job seekers visa after your student visa for 1.5 years. So you have ample amount of time to find a job, and then you can change to work visa. But this 1.5 years is like free. You don't have to do anything. Like, you can convert your student visa to job seekers visa and get a job over there. So this is what most of this. But when it comes to scholarship, there is no particular scholarship program, because in public universities there is no tuition fee. So it's basically just the blocked account that most of the students worry about. So for that, mostly what they do, they try to get an education loan, or sometimes even on DAD website there are a few scholarships. You can apply for that, but it's really difficult to get. But yeah, you can apply for that, or this is what most of the students do, and you can actually hear from Uday sir itself. He went to Germany and he did part-time job. So sir, tell us about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One more thing,
Yeah.
some of the students who have already passed out and they are doing some jobs in companies. So my son is recently had a degree and he's now recently joined the TCS Pro. So whether already if the students in a working conditions or if he has experience of the working, so in that case, how it will be helpful to get an internship?
Yeah, it will certainly help them once they go to Germany. I mean, even we would prefer that they have 1 or 2 years of work experience before they go. Firstly, it will expose them to a professional environment, so that once they go there, writing emails or dealing, setting appointments or meeting with a professor, it comes very naturally to them if they are getting experience in an IT company before they go. But I mean, secondly, getting this exposure here in India and going there, it becomes easier for them to find a part-time job. Because especially if they're living in a city like Munich or Hamburg or Stuttgart or something, there are a lot of tech companies, and these tech companies, the work language is English, so they can pretty easily get into one of these tech companies. Or even if they are from a mechanical background, there are a lot of companies which work in that sector. So it will be much easier for them to get part-time jobs and internships if they have work experience already in India. So that's
Okay,
how.
okay, 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 sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Patil. So do we have, okay, so there's a question from Avilash here. So, hi, this, I think it's directed to this, sir. A recommended deadline for international students for MSCE course at TU Munich is 15th March, but the final deadline is 31st May. Will there be a problem if we apply after the recommended deadline?
Is it Avilash or Avinash?
Abhilash.
Right. Yeah, Abhilash, generally all the courses in TUM has these two deadlines. One is called priority deadline. Second one is the normal deadline, that is May 31st. So what happens is, as far as I know, up until priority deadline, that is in the March, they will process the document as they come. Like there will be rolling admissions up until this priority deadline. After the priority deadline, they will just wait until May 31st for all the applications to come in, and then they start processing the applications. So if you apply for the priority deadline, it is likely that you will get your results in the month of April and May, so that you can be relaxed and you can take your visa and other things very slowly. If you get a admission from TUM, that also means like you don't have to wait for other admits, and it's pretty much like the top university in Germany, and you will be pretty relaxed. Your application process and everything will be very smooth. But if you miss this deadline and if you apply for May 31st, then it is likely that you will get your results by June or July, something like that. So then you will be in the time crunch, and you have to do many things parallelly. So that is the major advantage. As far as your admission chances are concerned, I would say it doesn't make a huge difference, but applying early will always have a positive impact on your admission, because they are deciding admissions on a rolling basis before March. So that means if your profile is good, you will directly get the admission. Even if it is bad, they will still have it on hold, and maybe they will consider it after receiving many other applications. So it is always an advantage if you apply early. So try to aim for March 15th or March 15th, I think, deadline. Yeah, if you couldn't, it's okay. You can apply for May 31st also.
Okay, so I hope that was clear, Abhilash. We have a question from Divya. So, hi. I want to ask. I have 4.5 years of experience working in an IT company, but my bachelor is in civil engineering. However, I'm thinking to go for MSc in business informatics. What are my chances?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Divya. But I mean, as far as the answer is concerned, business informatics is, I think it's closely related to computer science. If you're from a civil background, you would have to prove that you have some prior knowledge to take up this course. I mean, they would be particular about ECTS credits. So if they might be, asking you to show maybe 20 credits or 30 credits from computer science, then the question is like, how will you be able to prove that? You have 4.5 years of work experience, but it totally depends on the university and the admission committee whether they will consider that as, I mean, whether that can substitute for the ECTS credits or not, because in many cases actually work experience is totally different from learning the theory. So once you go to masters, again it's a theory only. I mean, although it's business informatics, there will be some theory involved for computer science related syllabus. So if you are not able to manage that, that will be the point of concern for admissions committee. So if there is any particular ECTS requirement, I would say it's not a good idea to apply. But if they haven't mentioned anything particular, then probably you can check your chances. It's totally left to them.
Okay. So yeah, thank you, Divya, for the question. I hope you understood that. Okay, so we have two more questions here. There's Abhishek asking, I happen to have heard that a few universities ask for the original transcript and hence multiple original transcripts need to be applied for. Is this truly the case?
Yes, generally universities ask for original transcripts only. So you have to send them original transcripts. From many universities in India also, they will give the transcripts in the sealed envelope. So in that case, you just have to send that sealed envelope itself. Yeah, I think if you are planning to apply for many courses, it's a good idea if you can take up original, transcript for each and every university. But check the application type of the university. If it is just online application, then you don't really need those many hard copies. So you can just tear up one of the transcripts and upload the soft copy. For those just online application type of courses, you can just use one transcript. And but the ones wherein you have to send the physical copy, for that you need as many originals as the number of universities.
Okay, so Abhishek, did you, I hope that's clear for you. So we have a question from Nagarjun. Some universities require minimum 1 year work experience. So is it mandatory to work in course related field or anything related to past bachelors is fine in case they don't mention to have course related experience?
Yeah, in that case, anything is fine, Nagarjun. But again, your chances will be more with the admission if you have related experience. So it doesn't prevent you from applying for that particular course. But yeah, it will certainly have an impact on your profile score. Yeah, so that counts.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prakash, for the. Okay, so that wasn't Prakash. I'm sorry, that's Nagarjun. Thank you so much for the question. And we have a question from Prakash. Do we still have to send hard copies to universities after COVID? I heard that's not necessary.
I'm not sure. Like we are still sending hard copies for some of the universities for this intake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is there, Prakash. I don't know. It maybe some universities are still asking, and for them we have to send. It depends. Like because of COVID, many universities, as you said, have changed the process. They have just now they just stick to the soft copies. But once, I mean, during the application process itself, you will come to know. At the end of application process, if they give you a printout and ask you to send all the documents along with that application form, then you have to send the hard copies. And I think many bookings are happening on our website for DHL, so many people are sending the hard copies. So I'm pretty sure like it has not stopped completely.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a question from Raghupati here. Hi, good evening. Good evening to you too, Raghupati. Is it better to do masters in German after immediate completion of bachelor's without any gap?
Masters in Germany, you mean? Like, I'm not sure, but then, yeah, it is always up for, up for the discussion, Raghupati. There is no one definite answer for this. It is always good if you can manage your masters immediately after bachelor's. In what way it is good is like you will start to earn early, like earning 2 years in India and earning the same 2 years after your masters in Germany is totally different. Here salary in India could be like maybe in few thousands, but there you might be earning in lakhs. So it will make a difference monetarily. But I would suggest from my personal experience that many of the Indian students, we generally have a mentality, we are dependent on our teachers, our parents too much. So once it is good to get the exposure to a professional environment for 1 or 2 years. If you do the job and then go to Germany, then you have a very good idea of like what do you want to extract from that course that you are going to, because you would ultimately, there is no tuition fee, but then you still spend money to go there and learn things, right? So you will have a better idea of how you want to take your career forward if you have 1 or 2 years of experience here. But some of you are probably already very mature and you know exactly what you want to do. So in that case, if you get an admission immediately after bachelor's, it is well and good, because you will save those 2 years, and those 2 years can be used after your masters there, and to you will learn better. So it is up for the discussion, but yeah, I think that is my opinion.
Okay, so we have a few other questions. So there's a question from Social. I'm currently pursuing BCA, a 3-year UG course. Total credit earned is 160. Is 3-year course acceptable in Germany for masters? I'm also doing 25 ECTS online course from XAMK Open University, Finland. So is it count or worth it? I mean, like, I think he's asking if that will also be included and if it's okay.
Mm, Yeah, I mean, regarding inclusion of that 25 credits, I cannot speak for it. Maybe it is included, maybe. If it is really the ECTS, then obviously it will count. But yeah, we don't know like how authentic or is that university or that course, whether it is related to the target course that you are applying to. All those things come into picture. But as far as 3-year degree is concerned, there are many universities in Germany which accept 3-year bachelors. So you can look for courses accordingly and apply for those.
Okay. Okay, so I hope that's clear, Sushil. Guys, if you have any questions, just switch on your mics and you can also ask
Why
like,
are you not switching on your microphone?
yeah, I was expecting more.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Good evening. My name is Sai Krishna.
Hi, Sai Krishna.
Actually, I want to apply for a course, master's course in systems engineering, and they are asking like that. I should have 10 credit points in my bachelor's degree in economics topic, but I only have 3 credit points in economics topic. So can I apply for that because I have already um, remaining credits in various fields? I mean requirements.
Yeah, Sai Krishna, you generally you won't qualify if you don't have those 10 credits, right? So if they have asked it as a qualification criteria, you will not qualify with three credits. But then they would also have mentioned somewhere on the website that you can actually pull the credits from other sources also. So maybe some of the topics related to economics you might have studied in mathematics, or you might have studied in some other courses in your bachelor's. So in those cases, it is possible that you take some of the credits from those subjects as well as and put it as a economics credit only. So for that, you would have to do proper course mapping. Yeah, I think you can check our website. There is an article on how to do course mapping. So or else get it in touch with us later on, so we can also help you with that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Good evening there and team.
Hi, Utkarsh.
So my question was, I have already paid for a college, basically for a course on UniAssist, and my application. So is my application complete? So because I have uploaded the applicant form as well as SOP for that uh, university, and before I have uploaded all the required documents, CV, transcript, bachelor scripts.
Yeah, so you must have submitted the application also, right?
Yeah,
If you are putting the payment, yeah, I think then it is complete. What is the status that is showing in Union?
receive
Received, right? So yeah, I think it is complete then, but you still have to send the hard copies,
to UniAssist, right?
right? Yeah.
Okay, so do I need to send just for that university, or suppose I will be applying for further more universities? So should I send their SOP as well with the?
Yeah, I mean, if that SOP is ready, you can send it. All the documents that you send to UniSys, they will keep it. So even if it is for the future, for example, things like a transcript and degree certificate, these things you just need to send once, and they will keep it for a semester. If you are applying until next semester, whatever the applications you do, you just have to send these documents once. But every time you apply for a new university, you have to send the application form as well as SOP once again. So if you, it's better to send the documents in bulk to UniAssist. So if you are applying for 3-4 courses at once, send all of the documents at once.
Okay, and one last question was, I did pay did a payment through credit card. So
Okay.
is bank transfer applicable?
I mean, if you did the payment through credit card, then it's fine. I
So
mean, bank
what?
transfer is also, I don't know if they have a bank transfer. I'm not sure. I don't think. I
So
think it's possible that if you have a European bank, then you can do Zofort, like they have a bank transfer option. But otherwise, if you're doing it from India, I think you can do credit card only.
because one of the universities I wanted to apply for was TUK. So
Hmm.
basically, what they were asking was for a bank transfer. So I
Yeah,
couldn't get a
DUK,
proper mode to transfer the money.
right. DUK has the application fee. I think it's
Yeah,
25.
it's application fee, $50, 50 euros.
Okay, okay. Yeah, if it is like application fee, then you would have to do the direct bank transfer. You can use any of the outward remittance services. So on our website also there are some partners, Thomas Cook and FCM Money, Remit Out. Use any of these services. They will get the transfer done for you.
Okay, and what is the process? How long does it take to transfer the money?
It takes one day, I think, one working day. So, if you are, starting in the morning, I mean, if you are starting anytime before 3:30, it can be processed on the same day. But if it is after 3:30 p.m., then it will go to the next day. One day it takes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, fine, Utkarsh.
Okay, thank you, Utkarsh. So yeah, we have a few questions in the comment box. So there is a question from Abhishek. So do German universities, like other European and American universities, evaluate a profile based on community service, extracurricular activities, or apart from the academics? Also, how much of an impact does personal research experience has in the application?
Okay. In general, if you are asking about extracurricular things apart from your GPA, German universities are not really big on that, unfortunately, because I mean, no, I don't know why, because, but then that is the case for Germany. They put a very high weightage on the GPA itself. But if there are two profiles which have very similar GPA, they can't decide on which one to take, then they will look at extracurricular. Otherwise, it is pretty much GPA, SOP, recommendations, CV, and probably technical essay. These kind of things only matter. Otherwise, they don't really, pay much weightage to the extracurricular activities. But then I can't say this thing for the top universities in Germany, like TUM. Aachen and Hamburg, like some of the top universities, they do look at extracurricular activities. They want diverse profiles in their campus. So in those cases, it's an exception, but most of the German universities pay very like high weightage for the GPA itself.
Okay. Okay. So I hope that answered your question, Abhishek. So yeah, there's a question from Prakash here. What is the procedure for application for lateral entry students who studied Polytechnic after 10th and joined in second year in Bachelors? Since we don't have enough credits, what's the solution?
You must have credits from your Polytechnic or
Yeah, you can actually add that when you're applying. You can take credits from your Polytechnic or diploma that you did. And I think that's right, because even
yeah, right.
yeah, you can actually take the credits from that and add it to your bachelor's, because in this case you can't provide enough credits like you said. So you can actually take your credits from your Polytechnic and then show it to them. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Prakash.
Sorry, Asha, I have one more question.
Okay, yes.
So I wanted to know, do German universities have a rolling admission procedure? So what is a rolling admission basically is first come first serve basis,
Yeah.
or do they take uh, after deadline after the deadline for the certain course is over, they start their evaluation. So what is the procedure for most of the universities? Is it a rolling procedure, or they wait after the deadline to evaluate the candidates?
Okay, Prakash, it's something that is very internal to the universities. It's something that none of the universities disclose for so far. It's only speculation. Whatever we speak, it's not the direct standard answer or anything. But in my opinion, most of them, they prefer rolling admissions, right? They don't want to wait until the deadline and then process all the applications, because they also have a limited number of people in the admissions committee, and if they have to take time and evaluate the applications and everything. So German universities get thousands of applicants. So if they have to do process those thousands of applicants in a month or so, it will be impossible for them. So as the applications come in, they will do the preliminary checks. They will check your SOP, LORs. They will give the score to your profile, and whoever are who passes the threshold, whatever they set internally, they will be kept for like further processing. And the ones who didn't pass that threshold, maybe they will just send the rejection to those. So but in general, they will not give admissions or rejections until the deadline is passed. But I think internally they will start processing as and when the applications come.
I hope that's clear to you, Prakash.
So, hi sir, one more question.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Patil.
So regarding the letter of recommendations, whether we can collect it in advance letter, or that directly that will be sent to the university by the professor?
No, in many of the colleges in India, you can pretty much collect it. Like you can talk to the professor and ask him to sign the letter of recommendation. Many cases, it's likely that they will only ask you to write the letter and bring to them for signature. You just have to get it signed and send it to the universities yourself. But we have come across some of the students wherein their HODs or their professors have said, no, we will not sign the document for you and give it to you. We will only send to the university. So in those
Okay.
cases, only it is like they will directly send to the university. For universities, it doesn't matter whether it comes from you or comes from a professor. Except for those cases, it's likely that they will just give it to you and you have to send it to the university.
Okay, along with other documents.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Patil.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we have a few questions in the comment box. We'll try to cover as much as possible. So yeah, there's a question. My question is, it's from Utkarsh. I have you already asked this question, Utkarsh? I hope you got it clear. Okay, so we have a question from Prasad. I have 3 years of experience after my graduation, but there is a gap of 6 months. Will it affect my selection?
3 years of experience. Yeah, it's okay. I think you can pretty much make up for that 6 months by saying, you have been on a workshop or you have done some course or some studying for some exam. 6 months is not a large gap, but don't let it be a gap as such in your CV. So you have to justify what you have done in those 6 months. So in many universities, especially TUM, is very particular about gaps in the CV, so they will not accept the profile itself if there is a gap in the CV. So just make sure that you give something as a proof for this gap, whatever you have. 6 months is not much, and you can certainly make up for it by saying something. So I think that's what you should do.
Okay, Prasad. Thank you for the question. And we have a last question from Nagarjun. Can we add Coursera course completion certificate? Are internships considered as work experience?
No, Nagarjuna, internships are considered as internships only. They won't count as work experiences. Yeah, I think Coursera course completion certificate you can add certainly as one of your extracurricular things. Under those sections you can add, but they won't count towards credits as such or ECTS or anything like that. But if you are applying for a data science course and if you have done a data science course in Coursera, then it certainly matters to the admission committee that you have taken some proactive step to do something. So yeah, that will add positively to your profile, but yeah, it doesn't make a big difference as such.
Okay, so do we have any more questions?
Yeah, hello. This is Sandhya.
Hi, Sanaya.
Yeah, Ashra, I have a question on behalf of my friend.
Okay.
Like currently he's working, like now he has like 2 years of work experience. But due to this COVID thing, and as he's not working in an IT company, he couldn't work for the 3 months complete lockdown. So how can we cover up that gap?
The
Or
3
do we
gap, right?
or do we request the HR or someone to, say something there? Or I have this query.
Uday sir?
I am not sure. Like, it's very hard to find. I mean, it depends on like what do you want to say. I cannot suggest honestly anything from my side. But if you can complete an online course and if you learn German in the meanwhile, something if you could, if you can show to them that you are involved in this thing for the 3 months, it would be better. Yeah, but don't let it be a gap in the CV. So it will
Uh,
affect negatively.
Yeah, of course. We he was thinking of adding something like certificate for like for language course or something.
Yeah.
But my question was, is it will there be not a problem like you're working in a company and suddenly there's a gap of 3 months in that same company and again you join back in the same company? Will that be not a problem?
I think that's okay. I don't think they're much worried about the you joining the same company back. It can be many things. It can mean many things. So you must have just taken a break for your family, or it's a very common thing there also in Germany. Even if they want to take a vacation, also they might take like 1 or 2 months gap. So it's totally okay for them to understand like there is a 3 month gap, but generally it's better to justify it with something else. Maybe he is doing a language course in the meanwhile taking care of his family. So that would be a good explanation instead of just leaving it as a gap.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so do we have any final questions? Just switch on your mics and ask, guys.
Hi, Abhishek here.
Yeah,
Abhishek? Yeah.
Yeah, my question is to Uday sir. Since you have completed your education in Germany, so I wanted to ask you how challenging is it for non-German speaking crowd to get by their daily activities in the country? Because as I understand it, Germany is a very non-English speaking country. So how do you get by without it, even though your university does not mandate it?
yeah,
Thanks.
true. But Abhishek, most of the time you will be spending on your campus, honestly, if you are studying there. And if you, especially if you are living in a big city, most of these universities in Germany, they are in big cities only. So if you are living in a big city, people pretty much talk English. But you will obviously face some problems in the supermarkets or in train stations, and everything will be in German. You won't see any English text or something. So for that, you have to learn A1 or A2 level of German for sure. But getting to the higher levels is not necessary in most cases, because within your university campus also most of the people speak English. All the university staff also generally speaks English. So that's where you will be spending most of your time. And your college dorm also will be, there will be international students. It will be a dorm of international students. So they also generally speak English. So, but the problem comes if you are living in a very small, isolated town. So that time, outside people generally don't speak English. So only you have to rely on international students which are studying there along with you to speak English, or else you have to learn German. So at that time, situation can get a bit difficult. But like I said, most cases it's not the norm. You can pretty much get done with your masters just knowing very basic German.
Okay, thanks. That helps a lot. And I had one more question. So could you speak a little bit on the tech scenario in Germany? So where is the whole community based? Where are major companies and what are their hiring strategies with respect to universities?
Okay, that's a good question. But then, honestly, Abhishek, I cannot speak of the current scenario because it's been 2 years, since I'm in India. So, but then I can generally tell you that, I mean, if you are there, obviously you have to go to Munich or Frankfurt to get into any tech companies. Majority of them are surrounding this area, Stuttgart also. And like generally many tech companies, I mean, just like in India, there is Google, there is Microsoft, there is everything, like all the major tech companies are there. So and they have English language based culture. Unless you are in a mechanical setup, and if you are working in a startup, you don't have to worry about just speaking English. Even some of the mechanical based companies like BMW or Mercedes Benz, or many of these companies are, although they are very old, their documentation is still in German, but then people there pretty much speak English. And as far as hiring strategy is concerned, there won't be any campus placements or anything like that. That concept is not there in Germany. So you would have to apply independently for jobs, just like you would do here in India, like after your bachelor's. If you don't get hired in campus, you have to apply jobs separately on the job portal of the respective company. If you pass through the initial phase, they will invite you for the interview. You have to go and give the interview, and you will be hired. So that is the normal process there. And yeah, but then there will be job fairs. Job fairs means they will just come and talk about their company on your campus, but there won't be any hiring as such. There won't be any interviews, or then and there itself nothing will happen. They'll just give brochures, they will just talk about their companies. That time is a good time to just get to know like what and all positions are open in that particular company. But then again, you have to go to their website and apply for a job. So that's a generic thing there. But as far as like how is it going, I'm not the right person actually. So it's better if you talk to some of the seniors who are studying there in your field, who can give better insights for you.
Okay, thank helps a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome, Abhishek.
Hello there.
Yeah, Yash, hi.
Hello. My name is Yash. Over there, I want to ask you that as per my situation is, I have completed my graduation, as
Mhm.
well as in that graduation, I have completed my internship as well as, and I have also published some research paper in my graduation, and also completed, and also I'm having an experience of 3.2 years of experience with me. So is this my profile is well good for applying the German universities? I need to know that. And my that research paper which I have published on is it will give me an age or some sort of credit. So I need to know that.
Okay. Yes, let's do one thing. Rather than me answering that question very vaguely,
Mhm.
you can apply for the profile evaluation on our website. So just
Okay.
get in touch and we can do the profile evaluation, and that way you will get much more concrete answer. Otherwise, like I said, it mainly depends on your GPA, nothing else.
Yeah,
So
actually, I have checked. There is a GPA calculator, German grading system calculator. I have gone through it and I have checked it out, and it's showing that 2.1, and in the comment section, it is showing good. So
yeah, if it is
it's
less than 2.5, it's already well and good. You will be eligible for most of the universities in Germany. But
okay.
again, like if you want to get a concrete answer, it's better if you get in touch and get your profile evaluated.
Sure, sure. I will do that.
Yeah.
So one
Yes.
more question I would like to ask you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask. There are some sort of people, they are asking me that okay, if you are, I'm from IT background, and if I want to apply for the higher studies in IT, so I need to the university give us some projects, and we need to create that sort of projects, and after submitting that projects and all that, your documentation stuff, then only you will get there will be a shortlisting criteria like this. So is it, or I want to ask you, is it like that?
I didn't get your question, Ish. What kind of projects will the university give?
Actually, the university will provide us some sort of small projects that you have worked on. Let's say you have worked on artificial intelligence, right? And in that artificial
Generally, I will
intelligence,
tell you, Ash, what happens. There are two types of universities, like Ashra said, right? There is, universities of applied sciences and TU universities. So if it's a technical universities, then you will have thesis in your final semester. So your fourth semester, entire semester, you have to work on a research thesis. So that time you obviously you have to solve a problem. You have to solve a technical problem. You will be mostly working with a PhD student, and you have to come up with your own paper, like the one that you have published, right? So most likely you will be publishing a paper also in your final semester in during your masters, if you are there in a TU. But if it is an FH university, then your final semester will is likely to be an internship. So this internship will be in a call in a in a company. So that time you may get projects, like you may, from the company they might give you some projects to finish, and once you finish that project you can show that as a project report with your college, and they will approve your credits for that particular internship, and you will get your master's degree. So this is
okay,
how it
it's
works.
like okay. So you're saying it's like the project which we used to do in our bachelor degree in Indian education system, is it? Like
Uh,
minor projects and major
That
projects, you're
is
saying?
not. I mean, generally in Germany, once you go for masters, here the major difference is here it will be a group project, right? There will be two, three people, or many people sitting and doing one project. There you have to manage your own thing. Either it will be a thesis or it will be work in the company. So if
Okay.
you are working in a company doing an internship, then you
Yeah.
might be working on one or many projects for that matter. But if you are doing a thesis, you are solving a research problem. So in both the cases, you have to work on your own. So there won't be any group projects as such.
Okay, so for getting admission into the university, they would not ask you to. They would not ask you to solve a certain amount of problems, is it?
For
For
getting admission, no.
yeah.
They'll just check your bachelor's profile. They won't
Okay,
ask you to do any research or solve any project or something.
okay, that's it. Got it.
Okay, Ish, all the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Yash. Okay, so I hope there's no more questions. But if you have any questions, you can always give us a call. That's my number, or you can just DM us the question, or visit our website. You can also get your profile evaluated for free with us and predict your chances of getting admission in a public university. So yeah, I think that's it. Then in that case, we can conclude the session. So thank you so much everyone for joining. And every Saturday we have webinars like these where you can attend and get to know so much more. So please follow us on Instagram or Facebook to get updated with our latest, updates. Or if you have any, we have weekly 2 webinars. So please attend them.